Hi, my wife and I were talking the other night and wondering what exactly is the difference between Messianic Judaism and the Hebrew roots movement. It's not really an easy question to answer, especially for outsiders. And coincidentally, Rob and Caleb on Messiah Matters were talking about that very subject earlier today. I apologize for the wind. I hope that's not making too much noise. The problem is that neither one of those terms is very well defined. If you ask most people what a Messianic Jew is, they would say that this is a Jew who believes that Yeshua, or Jesus if you prefer, is the Messiah. And that's true to an extent, but in the real world, it's used a lot more broadly than that. And there's a wide range of beliefs within that set. For example, Dr. Michael Brown would be considered a Messianic Jew under that definition. But he doesn't believe that anybody needs to be keeping Torah today, especially not believing Gentiles. Many Messianic Jews believe that everybody who believes in Yeshua ought to be keeping Torah. Many believe that there's a division, that only Jews should be keeping Torah and others shouldn't. There's a wide range of practices. Some Messianic Jews go to a Messianic Jewish synagogue. Some of them go to a regular Jewish synagogue. Some attend a Christian church. Many Gentiles who attend a Messianic Jewish synagogue consider themselves Messianic Jews. At a different synagogue, they would be considered sort of a second-class member, if they were considered members at all. But Hebrew roots is even more difficult to define. There is no agreed upon definition of what that means. And, some people will say Hebrew roots, some people will say Hebraic roots. One of the things that Caleb and Rob pointed out was that to outsiders, it sounds like it refers to the Hebrew language. And it really doesn't. It has to do more with the faith of the ancient Hebrews and the covenant with Abraham. But I can see where that would be confusing. I have tried to avoid that term myself because partly I don't know what it means, and partly there are a lot of really crazy stuff going on in the Hebrew roots movement. If Messianic Jews have a wide range of beliefs, Hebrew roots have an enormous range of beliefs. One of the characteristics that Rob and Caleb pointed out is that at a Hebrew roots synagogue or church or fellowship, whatever it might be called, it could be called any of those or more, the leadership frequently has no traditional credentials. They have no rabbinic training or formal training at all. And that's true in a lot of cases, but it's not necessarily true. A lot of Hebrew roots teachers have ordinations in traditional Christian denominations or even rabbinic ordinations, and they moved over to from being Orthodox Jew or whatever brand of Judaism or Christianity they were, to believing in both Yeshua and keeping the Torah. And that seems to be the one common denominator. Almost everyone who calls themselves Hebrew roots, or who other people would call Hebrew roots, believe that Yeshua is the Messiah and that all believers should be keeping the Torah. Beyond that, it's pretty hard to pin down. And honestly, I don't like being lumped in with flat earthers and sacred namers because I think it's ignorant and insane. Strong words, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, we don't always get to choose our own labels. And Hebrew roots people, for all their craziness, they're my people. I appreciate them, I love them, and I can relate to them. So if you don't like the definition, if you don't like those terms, don't use them. If you do, use them. I think it's pointless to argue over it, though, because there is no agreed upon definition. Nobody really knows what Hebrew roots or Hebraic roots really means. So this is Jake Harper from American Torah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Be blessed.